Well, today I'm kind of sitting in some familiar territory for me. This is the 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Now, I actually owned a 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road, and the very first vehicle I ever got to review is a 2020 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. And I did some comparison actually between the technology between the 2019 model and the 2020 model when they upgraded, which was some decent upgrades, to be honest. But in all reality, even in 2020, that technology was a little bit dated. And that's kind of a sense that you get a lot of times when we're talking about Toyota vehicles. They're not always up to par with the latest technology. Not to say that's a huge thing against them, it's just something to notice. And of course, this is a technology channel. So sit back, relax, we're gonna talk about this guy, which in all reality doesn't have a whole lot of difference between this and the 2020. So let's step into it. So welcome back to techgooch, ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, today we're looking at the 2023 Toyota Tacoma. Again, this is the TRD Pro, so it's the souped up off-road type version. Now, I will be honest about it. From the outside, this truck still hits me right in the heart. I love the look of the Toyota Tacoma. I really do. I always have, and I think this whole body style that they've had now for several years just hits home. It looks great. And this specific vehicle is in this really bright orange color. And oh, it just screams me. It really does. Love the truck. Love the look of it. I love this vehicle. I really do. Now, that's not to say that I have some gripes against it, because I do. In all reality, they're the same gripes that I had against my 2019 and the 2020, even with the updates that we've had on the vehicle. So we're going to go through this pretty fast, because in all reality, there's not a whole lot that has changed from those, the earlier 2020s till today. And we'll get into that a little bit. But the whole thing, and like I said, this is a technology channel, so I kind of focus on technology products and technology things, and in vehicles I like to look at the technology. I understand that some people are fine. You know what, I'd be happy with a push button radio. That's great. Happy for you. I don't. I like modern technology in my great vehicles. I really do, especially if it makes the vehicle more enjoyable, or that set of features more enjoyable, or they do more with them. So the thing about this radio, it's the exact same radio as in 2020. Now, you're not going to change radios yearly. It's not going to happen. But this, you can tell this truck is due for an upgrade, which should, I think, be happening next year. We might actually see Toyota release some information maybe later this month. We'll kind of hope and pray for that, because if you were to keep 80% of this truck and change 20%, you'd have some fantastic stuff. You really, really would. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We're going to jump to the spot. We'll do our run around the outside, run around the inside, and kind of go over things, show you what you're going to get. But like most vehicles, this is what is, at least currently looks like, it's going to be the last of this line of Tacoma before they bring out the new refreshed version. So it's probably going to have fewer problems with it than the next iteration. That's just how things go in terms. So sit back, relax. Let's jump out of the vehicle and let's take a peek at it. Okay, so we're going to start here in the front of the vehicle. Now, again, this is that solar octane orange special color that they have for the TRD Pro this year, that replaced that like lime green color that they had last year. So that's, I guess, really one of the only differences you're really going to see between the 2022 and the 2023 in this case is the specialty color. But we have up front here, we have the really nice hood scoop that we get on the TRD Pro typically. We do have the actual grill's a little bit different with the actual Toyota emblem. This one does have a 360 camera package around it, so we do have the camera up front, and then down below we actually have that sensor, or the package for the cruise control and such, in that sensor in the grill, if you can see that. let's go around. Really nice looking wheels. I love the red accents. Also with all of the off-road suspension and such, we have the red coils and arms and everything underneath there. Looks really, really good. I love the look of it. God, I just love the color. Just looks great. TRD Pro, obviously, we have badging all around. This does have the blackout package on it. It does have this step that you can bring down, and it stays, and so you can easily get into the bed and then just flip it up and out of the way, and it stays out of the way. Do you like that? And of course, here's the other side. But it's a Tacoma, right? It looks like a Tacoma. It's got the LED lights on it, and it's just a wonderful looking vehicle and a beautiful color. So let's step into the interior. All right, we're gonna jump into the driver's spot. First of all, we do have electric controls for our driver's seat. All right. So going around, let's lighten things up a little bit so you can see more information here. So we have our door controls for our traction control, or camera view, so we can actually, if we push this button, it'll bring up the 360 view around the vehicle, and I can hit it again. It'll go to a different view, and then click it again, it takes it back off. Then we also have our rear light in the tail bed, or in the bed area, auto highlights, and then our AC power outlets. We want to turn that on in the bed, which they've always done. Standard Toyota steering wheel with standard steering wheel controls. Same thing with the driver's information display. Just standard here. I'm not going to go through all this, but just the standard Toyota stuff that they've had for years. This is the 3rd gen Toyota Tacoma from 2016 to this 2023 model. So not a lot has changed. They did do that radio refresh back in 2020, and that's what I did that video on, to show the difference between the 2019 and the 2020 in the technology department here. One thing I didn't address real quick, and this is just going to be real quick, the camera system, right? So I can get this 360 view camera, and of course I can look at the different views here, right? But I think it's actually a combination between the camera and as well as this lower resolution display. But like when you go into reverse and you boot the reverse camera up, this is a real low quality image. And definitely doing it like at the supermarket the other day, just really low quality. So that would be one thing that I think definitely needs to get changed in the future. Obviously climate controls, things like that. It's a very simplistic vehicle in terms of the technology in it, to be honest about it. For trucks, I think this is about the right amount of physical buttons. In all reality, in my opinion, I just wish that the entertainment package here was substantially upgraded, and I'm expecting that next year. So if this is something that is important to you, it's not important to everybody, but if having a more up-to-date modern package here is important to you, then that might be something to consider waiting on. But there you go. And then we have our glove box, decent size, nothing fancy, but glove box. 3 cup holders, so we have our 2 cup holders here. Now the Qi charger that's up here is the same Qi charger that they've always had, and it doesn't work with MagSafe. So if you have an iPhone with a MagSafe at all, it doesn't matter if you have the case on it at all, this just doesn't work. It's just worthless in my opinion. And there is a button to turn it on or off. I've tried it several iterations with my iPhone 14 Pro Max, just couldn't get it to do work, and that's just normal for this one. Another small cup holder and a cubby here like they've always had, and our gear selector shift lever here, if I can show you. Pretty simple, pretty basic, same gear shift lever they've had, and then same bin. Now they did upgrade, they do have a USB-A and a USB-C down here, so that is something that is there. And then let's go above and actually show the controls up here, where we have our traction settings that we can change on the fly, lock our rear differential, open. Now this does have a manual cover for the sunroof, but then we can actually either just open it up for a vent, close it, or open it up all the way. So we'll keep that closed for now. So that's everything pretty much in the front seat. Let's get to the rear. All right, let's jump in the back seat. And this is the one thing on the Tacoma that is the worst. Now, I have the seat in the front back to where I would like to drive as a 5'11" tall person, and you know, there's barely any leg room back here. And this was the one thing that my kids always told us when I had my 2019. There's just not enough leg room in the rear seat. So this is, and obviously they're not going to increase the size of the double cab in the same body style. I wish that they would add a couple of inches to the cab for that specific reason. And another thing that you might notice here, we have cup holders, but still no USB ports or anything for charging. I'm not saying that you need to have air vents and stuff, but kids have devices, and having the cords go all the way up there is just a pain in the butt. So that's something that I think that they should change as well. That's your cup holders. There are no cup holders that come out of the rear seat, but that's fine. This is more than enough. So yeah, let's look in the bed. Okay, so we got the tailgate here, obviously drops by itself there, no problem there. Over here we have our power. This is going to be something nice. And then this is the thing that I've always loved, is their little cubby where you can put straps and stuff back here. Very, very handy. I've always been a fan of Toyota's beds where they have the cover or the protection already built in, and then the strap holders that you know, the rails where you can actually mount things. Fantastic. I love it. Let's pop the hood, see if anything's changed under there. And same, no gas shocks. You have to put the stick up, but easy access to the battery. And it looks like somebody left the fluid open, so I guess I'll close that real quick. So if you can tell, I truly love this vehicle. It's a part of me because I owned one for several years. I love the Tacomas. I still want to have a Tacoma again in the future, as long as they fix some of the things that I think they need to fix. Now, yes, I do think they need more legroom in the back. I think that would make it a lot more comfortable for your passengers, and I would love that. But the biggest reason, in all reality, is this has a 3.5 liter V6. My Toyota Sienna had a 3.5 liter V6. This has a 6-speed automatic. My Sienna had an 8-speed automatic. I pulled a trailer, the same exact trailer, with both vehicles. It pulled better with my Sienna. If that doesn't tell you something about this specific setup with this generation of Tacoma, I don't know what will. They need to get it to be able to pull things better. You know, that's why I would own a truck, is for the bed and the capability of pulling things. Now, the other thing about this specific setup with this engine and this transmission is, I'm not going to tell you that it's super duper full of power. I'm going to show you that here. We're going to do it again, just like we do most. We're just kind of stepping on here. Step on it. And we're almost to 50, and it's 60. I mean, the amount of power it has, limited at best. So I love the truck. I really do. And I think they could get more out of that engine if they put the right transmission in it. And I think that is where it goes. Because my van had essentially the same engine, right? But that 8-speed transmission shifted so much better and gave you so much more power that you, in all reality, also got better gas mileage. So that's another big thing. So as much as I love this vehicle, I will be honest that I am one of those that is substantially looking forward to the 2024 and what they do with it. I really, really, really hope that the engine transmission combination changes. And I think it will. But time will tell. That's when we'll find out for sure what's changing and what's not. So thank you for watching to the end of the video. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't agree with me, and maybe there are others out there that do agree with me. I love this truck. I want the technology upgraded. When you sit in this vehicle, it feels dated. The radio feels really dated. It feels like my radio from my 2014 Jeep. You know, it still feels that way. So it's just an old radio. The JBL audio system, it is fine. It's not great, but as much as I love this truck, I truly think it's amazing looking. They just need to figure out a couple of things to get it to hit a home run with it. And you know what? they've got it in them. They have a fantastic vehicle that just needs some tweaks. And I'm looking forward to the 2024. So thank you for watching all the way to the end, and we'll catch you back here on techgooch for another video review. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you again soon.